This morning we had 3 really nice cows and 3 calves. We've got 2 corral traps set up in this area to try to catch some elk that have been getting down on the highway down in the Stony Fork community along Highway 221 here in Bell and Harlan County. We trailer them over here to our holding facility, and that's where we are right now. We're at the handling and holding facility. We unload those elk into this handling pen here. We run them through an alleyway. We just nominated you head catch. One of the more high pressure jobs in this outfit, head catch. And so what we're doing is kind of staging them in that alleyway, and it narrows down into that series of 3 holding stalls. That middle holding stall has a livestock scale in it. That's where we get the weight on the animals so that we know what their starting weight was, but also so we know what dosage of medicine to give them. So then once we've got a weight, the guys up on the front end at the head gate, they're ready. We'll let her out of that chute and she will run into the squeeze chute. And her head comes through that head gate, and then the guys out front grab her by the head, get that blindfold on to calm her down as quick as they can. And once it's blindfolded, we've got a couple things we do. We take its temperature to make sure it's not running hot. If it's running over 106 degrees body temperature, then we'll give it some anti-inflammatories, bring the fever down. We also give them a shot of vitamin B12, and that's to stimulate their appetite because they're stressed out, they don't want to eat when they get in here. So we give them that to kind of make them a little hungry, and then we also give them a long-acting antibiotic. And what that does is it puts that medicine right behind their ear in a little fat pocket, and it slowly releases. That helps keep them from getting stress-related pneumonia, or if they do have some sort of an infection or something like that later on down the road, it helps prevent those from getting nasty. So we put ear tags in them, and we make a note of the weight, the sex, the overall health of the animal, and then we turn them into the pen where they will wait about 45 days before they go to Virginia.
It's a historical event, especially for the state of Virginia getting these elk in.
What we're doing here is not only helping us with some of our nuisance issues, but the other side of the equation is the state of Virginia is in the process of restoring elk. So this is their 3rd year in this project, and we're hoping to get 50 elk, which will finish out their project of relocating from Kentucky to Virginia.
Something a lot of people are looking forward to, and trust me, when they see the elk, you definitely hear about it, and a lot of good feedback. Well, I believe for Virginia, they've set the standard and gave us something, a model to go by, and been very instrumental for us, I know, from my end.
No one comes close in the eastern United States to what we've done, but we set the bar pretty high.
All right.
Kentucky has had phenomenal success with their elk restoration. There are actually some northeastern states and some northern states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, that restored elk 30 years or more before we did, but their herds never really took off and got widespread the way ours is. And when Kentucky decided to get into the elk business and restore elk here, we said go big or go home. And we've now got a 16-county elk restoration zone and over 10,000 elk. We talk about Kentucky's elk restoration. We talk about the restoration project, which, as you know, started in December of '97, and we finished stocking in early 2002. And since then, we've started hunting elk. We've gone from 12 permits to we had 1,000 permits. So we talk about it as a restoration, but the truth is we're really in the management stage now. Our elk herd is secure. Our population is self-sustaining and increasing. They're slowly expanding on these reclaimed strip mines and moving into new areas. And so I feel like at this point, with our very light harvest pressure and abundant habitat, we have lots of reclaimed strip mines here that don't have elk on them yet. And so it would take a really lot of effort to stop our elk herd at this point. Past research has shown that over 80% of our adult cows will have calves every year, and of those calves, over 90% will live to the first year of age. And so we know we have phenomenal reproductive success. So what we've been studying lately is we're wrapping up a bull mortality study, trying to find out how long do our bulls live, how much country do they cover, when they die, what do they die from? And our preliminary results show that the biggest factor for an adult bull in Kentucky is us, it's hunters. Now we're starting a companion study. We started last year and we're really gearing up this year with adult cows. We're putting collars on adult cows and seeing how long they live, how many calves they have in their lifetime, and when they die, what do they die from? And we actually caught 3 original release cows this year. Those are cows that were brought in from Utah, turned loose between '98 and 2002. They're still alive, and they all had a calf at heel when we caught them. And so we know that the potential is huge.
Very big animal. That's first time in my life I've ever had a 500-pound animal in a headlock.
We're paying it forward because remember, all of our elk came from 1,500 elk from 6 western states. And those states kind of did the same thing. They tried to get nuisance animals and shipped them here to Kentucky, and now we're paying it forward and helping the folks across the border get their herd up and running.
It's definitely something you can pass on to your kids and your grandkids, is that what Dad got to do. Something I definitely won't forget.